Welcome to episode 6 of Hair Biz Radio. You're tuned in with Zakiyrah and
Mikey.
And we have the beautiful Jules in the building with us today. She is a natural hairstylist guru.
Ooh, guru. I like it.
And she has been in the hair industry for a little over 8 years.
About 8 years.
About 8 years now. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into the episode. Let's talk about our week so far.
We're just killing it. I can actually say yesterday was the second busiest day for our online store in history.
It was.
So sales were absolutely rocking yesterday. Thank God we have our extra staff for shipping. We got all the orders out. So it's awesome to have like a record day, but then get all the orders out. So excited about that. Stopped by the new space today.
So it looks so good.
Oh, it's going to be a weave heaven.
Did y'all grow out fast?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's 4,000 square feet of, well, right now it's just concrete floors and open ceilings. But we're going to make sure Zakiyrah has a nice office, HD that records this. She's going to have her own studio space for video for this podcast. So when you come back next year as a guest, it's going to be like in this nice studio, or maybe we'll have some natural hair like videos that we can make together because we're huge in video. So we're going to bring stylists in. So if you're a stylist that wants to be part of some awesome video series, we're actually talking about, have you seen I know Zakiyrah has, but Jules, have you seen our weave dealer videos from like earlier or late last year?
I've seen some videos that pop up on my YouTube, but I'm not sure if it's that one.
Yeah, so our idea was about a year ago when we brought on HD, we're like, hey, I was like, we got to create this like insight similar to this podcast that's like all about the hair business. I was like, we got to create a video series so that way people can really connect with us and kind of see the inside of a hair business, right? So we started doing this. We shot 4 episodes and then our business just started blowing up. And then everyone was just too busy to shoot this video series. But it's like HD and I thought of at the same time, maybe we should bring back Weave Dealer.
Yeah.
It's called Weave Dealer. Maybe we should bring it back. So it's just, you're in the office and it's like the camera. It's kind of like a reality thing. So yeah, we're talking about that.
Yeah, Mikey's like a YouTube celebrity. So
if you search Mikey Moran on YouTube, you will see I have over 200 subscribers. 200. Well, you know what I did? It's like, I'm all about education. And if you're, we have the Start a Hair Business Facebook group, make sure you join. But if you see that, we're really big on education because I think that's really the difference between people that make money and people that make money. Right?
Money and a lasting impression.
Money. Yes. It's really education and it's great to be able to teach people. And that's what both Zakiyrah and I like to do.
Right.
So, Mikey, let's talk about this, how good this podcast has been doing. Like we just launched it.
We just launched a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We are, couple thousand downloads already, which is pretty good for a new podcast.
Yeah, within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, first couple weeks. So hopefully you subscribed if you're listening to this. Leave an awesome rating review. We won't be mad. And then also, so if you're listening to this, make sure you go back to episode 5. And we have a giveaway in that episode. We're not going to say what it is, but make sure you go
take
back.
Advantage of it.
Yeah. So yeah, we just have so much going on. And it's funny. I call my mom every night when I'm on my way home.
Wow.
At various times. My mom, she's a baller. I'm going to get her like baller mom shirt because she's like, says baller mom. So, she always like, what's going on? And she's like, always, you guys have so much going on there. It's every day here. It's really a production. I mean, we have so much going on. So
definitely.
Yeah, it's cool. But we're excited because Jules, we spoke for a few minutes and we were talking about kind of what she's been doing and some of her experience. And I think it's going to be great, especially for hairstylists just getting into the industry or people that are currently have booth rent somewhere or something like that. So we can talk about how you're in a salon suite or a salon loft. What kind of
situation? It's a salon suite, but they're kind of the same. Okay. Lofts and suites are pretty much the same.
Okay. So we're really excited to hear all the information you need to know, the pros, cons, this, that, and the other about your new stylist. Should you go directly into one? You have booth rent or you're working for a stylist? What is the transition period and kind of some of your history and feedback from you because you've been through it all and you've been doing this for many years and you've had your space now for a couple years. So, we're definitely going to get into that.
So Jules is also a freelance writer for private label extensions and she gives out so much good information to our readers. Right now, we average about how many readers a month?
A lot.
A lot.
I'm not going to give out the number of the podcast. I'm not trying to, but yeah, it's pretty, Jewel sees the numbers. So I put the numbers. We have like a private Facebook group for our writers. We have about a dozen writers now. We're looking to get a couple more. So yeah, it's pretty legit. You know, your stuff's getting read, Jules. Don't worry. Yeah, you're not writing for nothing.
So she gives out a ton of great information to our readers. So she's been a great addition to Private Label Extensions blog. But let's get into some of your background. Like, what made you want to start in the hair industry, and how did you get started with your salon? And you have a product line out too. Let's talk about that.
Well, backtrack. My story isn't that great. I'm just going to tell you right now. But when I was in high school, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to waste money going to college because I knew a lot of adults were saying that they wasted, I don't know how much money going to college and then not even staying in their career. So senior year, I didn't want to waste money, but I did know that I was good at doing hair because I used to do literally everybody's hair. When I was in high school, it was ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
But when I graduated, I enrolled in beauty school the same month that I graduated. So I didn't even have a summer off. I literally just kind of enrolled and I went in there. And that was in 2008. So 2010, I already had my license. I already started working in the salon and I knew that I wanted to do it because I liked doing it and it didn't feel like a job. I liked catering to my clients and making sure they look pretty and feel pretty and stuff like that. So yeah, I started my career in 2010, which is pretty cool because I was only 20 and I had already knew what career I wanted to do and I kind of stuck with it since then. And I've been in, I don't know how many salons since then, but the last salon that I was at about 2 years ago was the one that really introduced me to natural hair. And I really fell in love with it then. And I started catering to actual people's textures and not trying to change their texture. So 2 years ago, I really decided to work with my client's curl definition, which everyone doesn't just have from birth. So I tried to start training my clients' curls and they were seeing a difference in their hair. People that didn't think that they had curls before, they were actually seeing their curl pattern popping after that. So our specialty is curl training and I've had my salon suite for 2 years. So I've been on my own for 2 years and yeah, all things natural. My brand, by the way, is Embrace Me Naturally. So
oh yeah, that
what type of products is it?
It's vegan products, but it's catered to natural hair. Yeah.
Okay.
So 7 out of 10 products are vegan. The other ones they're not vegan because they have silk or collagen in it, which isn't really vegan, but.
I know I'm wearing a hat today, but just to let you know, I'm natural.
Okay. I figured that.
So I always have problems with I've been natural for 9 years and I always have problems wearing my natural hair because I don't know how to tame my curls. So they'll be really pretty when my hair is wet, but then once it dries, it's like a big bush on top of my head. And that's not cute.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I need to come visit you for some curl training for
Absolutely.
Sure. But let's talk about, in our Facebook group, as Mikey mentioned, the Start a Hair Business group, we have a lot of people who sell the private label hair extensions. And so we got into, not too long ago, more natural curl patterns. So we have the 4C hair, we have the Afro kinky curly. A lot of people don't know the difference between the 4C hair, maybe the 4A or the 4B hair. Talk a little bit about the difference between those and what hair types go better with texture.
Well, it's interesting that you asked me that because I don't hair type, but for the purpose of this podcast, usually people think about 4C as literally the tightest, the less manageable hair type, and it's not the most sought after, but you can actually do a lot with it. And people probably want to do more weaves when they have 4C hair because they have so much shrinkage in their natural state. So they probably do want a little more length, and 4C probably looks a little thinner than someone else's hair. So they probably want the fullness. But when it comes to textures and extensions, I just tell them to find the extensions that look like your texture. But it's tricky when you try to tell people which type to look for because it's not necessarily catering to the different types on their head and where those types are. So I don't necessarily tell them what type to go with. I tell them if your hair is in a wash and go, then try to figure out what your curl looks like when it's in its natural curly state, if you're going to wear it like that.
Right. Got it. So we have the 4C clip-ins. And so we have, those are actually hot on the market right now.
We saw people so many of those clip-ins.
I would imagine.
Yeah, people are loving those. So after they come get their hair curl trained and then they may want that extra volume, they'll come and get the 4C clip-ins to match their texture in their hair. Talk a little bit about, if you think, why it's important to wear
Like clip-ins instead of a sew-in?
Yeah, clip-ins.
I actually prefer, like I would tell my clients to do clip-ins instead of a sew-in because a lot of naturals do need to shampoo their hair like every week if they're having a scalp issue or if they need to be deep conditioning their hair often or steaming their hair often. And when you have braids and then it's under a wig or it's under a cap and then a sew-in, it kind of doesn't allow you to get to your hair and actually care for it and clean it. So I would prefer my clients to wear clip-ins because you literally just pop them right out and you can moisturize your own hair, shampoo your own hair. And for a lot of people, because they do kind of hide behind their sew-ins and stuff, clip-ins are the best way to take care of your hair and not forget about your hair, but then also, you know, wear cute, full, long styles.
Right. So a lot of times people don't take care of their hair under like their sew-ins. And then some people don't even know how to check their hair porosity or what hair porosity is. So can you tell our listeners what is hair porosity and how do you check that?
Porosity is the ability that your hair has to bring in water and then retain it, or moisture. People say moisture, but water mainly. So if your hair doesn't really bring in water easily, then you would have low porosity. But if your hair brings in water very easily, like a sponge, like as soon as you wet it, your hair is just like really wet, and then you would have high porosity hair. There's 3 ways to test it, but stylists laugh at those ways because it's not going to give you a definite answer. And it has like people like, I really don't know what my porosity is. But one is spraying your hair when it's dry with a water bottle. And if you see little water droplets on top of your hair, then you would have low porosity, meaning your cuticle didn't easily allow the water to come in. But if you spray your hair and your hair instantly like puffs up, then you would have high porosity hair. Then there's the infamous cup the water in a cup trick where you put your strand in the cup and then if it floats, it's low porosity, meaning the water didn't easily go in. And if it sinks all the way to the bottom, then it's high porosity, meaning the cuticle is wide open. So water is coming in and out really quickly.
So talk a little bit about how you can maintain healthy hair if you wear hair extensions. So like a lot of times, maybe you get some people who wear sew-ins and then they come to you and like, hey, my hair's breaking off, or hey, you know, my hair isn't as healthy as I want it to be. What is that process of training your natural hair back to life?
It's interesting that you mentioned that because I just wrote an article for you guys about it.
Oh, love articles.
And it's already published. But I was talking about how to care for your hair underneath a wig or a weave. I keep saying wig, but a weave. But the main things are cleaning it because a lot of people feel like I have a weave, so I don't have to shampoo my hair every 2 weeks like I normally would, but you do. So it's not like when you get a weave, you can just cancel all your hair appointments at the salon or just stop shampooing your hair. Shampooing it is a big thing, and making sure your braids and your scalp are dry after the shampooing process is a big thing, because if you allow your braids or your scalp to air dry over a course of 8 hours or longer, that's when people get the bacteria and like all the fungal infections, and then they take out the weave and their hair is like a matted mess. So shampooing your hair and just making sure you go under a dryer like after you shampoo your hair to make sure those braids are dry.
I like that. Let me take you back about 7 years. All right. So your first job, you were working inside a salon, working for someone?
Yes.
Was it a booth rent situation, or were you just like working for a stylist, understudy? How does that work?
I've never done booth rent. I've always done commission. Booth rent is not ideal when you're starting off because you don't know where your next dollar is coming from. And because I moved from so many different salons because I was never happy at them, it didn't make sense for me to be booth rent if I didn't know if my clientele would follow me. So I've always been commission. And actually the first salon I ever worked at was an all Caucasian salon. So we did cut and color, and I really wasn't even introduced to natural hair because I had a relaxer myself. But, you know, they were so nice there. They taught me a lot about coloring and cutting and customer service, which was really big that you don't really learn in school. They just kind of make you pass the stay board and kind of kick you out. But yeah, I learned a lot at that salon. And then from then on, I went to other like Black salons.
Can you think of a couple going into salons and working with other stylists and such? What are a couple of their customer service downfalls that you see on a consistent basis? What mistakes you as now a long-term stylist, what mistakes customer service-wise are people making that they might not even realize?
Okay. So
she took a nice deep breath there. Oh my God, it must be we got something good coming.
I have because I pay attention to detail, it's just my personality. I have a lot of pet peeves that I have also learned are clients' pet peeves. One is double, triple booking. Clients don't like that. I don't even understand why stylists do it because it stresses you out.
Oh my God.
You don't have time to chill or sit or eat or respond to a text. But double, triple booking, it's like super known. People feel like I'm going to go to the salon and be here all day. That's just what they feel like. But when they come to me, you're the only person in my chair. And if somebody walks in, it's usually the last 30 minutes of your appointment. And then you're kind of just swapping seats. Another thing is the education, because you're used to sitting in a chair and just getting your hair done, telling them the style that you want, but they don't really tell you like what's going on with your hair and why, or asking questions. At my salon, we consult for like the first 10 to 15 minutes. And by then we're sold. Like they're just sold on us because they're like, nobody else really sits down and talks to me about what I'm doing wrong. And then the other thing I would say is having the right intentions. Because unfortunately, this is kind of like a hustle type of industry. So people do it for the money and they do it because it is quick money. You always have cash. I forget where my tips are sometimes because people always just give you money throughout the day. But if you don't do it for the right reasons, you will always have like that revolving door of clients. And I make sure that I pay attention to my clients and I ask them questions, and the consultation is all ongoing. Even when they're coming back and I just saw them 2 weeks ago, I still ask them questions. So,
okay. So as far as the double booking or triple booking, I don't experience that. I literally go to Great Clips. I do it on the app. I show up, they know me, I've been going to the same place, like, whatever, real quick. So I like to kind of dig in on these issues, right? So like the double, triple booking, I'm thinking, is it because a lot of time people cancel their appointments and they're just like, oh, someone's going to show up? Or people just do it like...
No, it's so... Oh, my God.
Is it like a United Airlines, like overbooking?
Yes,
and it's the same thing?
It's worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I booked an appointment one time with a hairstylist here in Atlanta, and my appointment was for 6 p.m. Guess what time I got in the chair?
6:15?
9:30.
No.
9:30. I was so irritated.
Were you waiting because other people were in the chair? The person was taking their time.
Both. I don't know. It was just both. It was a disaster.
Yeah. So you got in at 9:30 and ended when?
Maybe almost 11. Like I couldn't go get my nails done. I had a flight the next morning. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
A lot of my clients tell me that they used to go to like celebrity stylists because there's so many in Atlanta, and they just stopped because after that you don't even see the celebrity stylist anymore. You just see their assistant, or you're like literally waiting for them all day because they've gotten so big. So I try not to get on that level.
Wow.
Okay. So you were working as a commissioned stylist for a while. And then what made you want to take the leap into getting your own space?
I listen to people around me a lot because I doubt myself. And there was a season, it was like winter of the year that I left, that everybody kept asking me, when am I going to get my own salon? And I'm like, I don't want one. Like, that's just too much. It's just too much to do. But then I also started to realize that I was like overworking where I was, and there wasn't a spot to be a salon manager as a stylist. Like you couldn't be both. So I was kind of working my way out of the door. Like I started from way back by the shampoo bowl, and now I'm like by the front door, which is good in women's salons, maybe bad in men's barbers, but it's good when you're the first station. So when I was there, my clients used to joke about it. This other stylists used to joke about it, like, when are you leaving? Because there's nowhere else for you to go. So I started looking into it. And then of course, when you're not happy somewhere, or when you don't feel fulfilled somewhere, then you kind of just search for other options. But that honestly wasn't the goal. Me traveling and speaking and educating about curl training and about natural hair theory was my passion. That's what I really wanted to do.
Oh, nice. Hopefully we can get some YouTube videos of you talking about this passion of curls. I know some girls that would like to watch that, and we need some subscribers on our YouTube channel.
True.
Yeah, no, that's great. So you decided, you know what, I'm going for this. What was the next step? Did you look at multiple locations, or did you always have like that one location in the back of your mind? What did that look like?
So tying in my attention to detail and the fact that I doubt myself a lot, I spent wakeless hours making my business plan, which was so unnecessary because I didn't need it. Not saying don't make a business plan, because make a business plan, but I literally lived at my computer desk for a month. And I made my business plan because I wanted to be sure I understood what I was getting into. That was when I didn't even know salon suites were a thing. So I was trying to make a business plan to have a whole building and like hire all these people. And then I started researching salons, and then suites kept popping up next to it. And then that's when I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. It's like in between being, someone's employee and then actually having your own. So I only went to 3, and the one that I'm at right now, I totally love the owners. It's a husband and a wife, and they make it easy for you to transition. And that's what you really want when you're about to get into something like that.
Okay. So it's not one of the big corporate salon suites.
Well, Salons by JC, it actually is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're, you can franchise. So
okay.
I think it's pretty big.
And you pay for that? Is it something you pay weekly or monthly?
Now it's like rent. So okay. So we pay weekly rent, or you could just pay the whole month if you want to.
Okay, so the salon suites, you get the space, and I know it has some of the equipment already inside. So as a stylist, what are some of the things that a new stylist would need to prepare for to bring into the salon suite with them?
So when you go into a salon suite, the only thing that's there is the sink and maybe the shampoo bowl. But everything else you have to bring in yourself. So you have to already have what products that you want to use. You have to already have the decoration, or it'll be like blah and people won't really want to be there. You have to bring your own TV and stuff like that. And of course, your own scheduling system, your own checkout system. Like it literally is a mini salon. Of course, you don't have to pay for like gas or water. But besides that, paying the rent and keeping like your stock full and all of that, and cleanliness, because they don't come in and like clean your room for you or anything like that. All of that you have to do by yourself.
Okay. Do you see some of the salon suites, they're not that clean, or are you pretty persistent about being clean, or some tips? What's going on with that?
No, they're pretty clean. People just don't personalize them. Like they don't make them like their own. So okay. Like sometimes you'll go into a salon suite and it will just look like, like the off-white colored walls and stuff. And you didn't really like go in and paint or put up anything to like make it really personalized compared to whatever your brand is. So when I went in there, I made sure the walls matched my logo and all that stuff. So.
Okay. So you did it right, huh?
I tried. Okay. I grew out of 3 salon suites in less than 12 months. So now I'm in the biggest one you could possibly be in. And they actually had to knock down a wall and combine 2 double suites for the one that I'm in right now.
So you were at the same one and you kept moving spaces?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at you, growth.
Yeah, it just happens.
So you have multiple stylists.
I have one stylist, and her name is Micah. We worked together at the last salon that I worked at, so I really trust her, and we kind of have like the same vibe going on, and she trusts me. So I brought her in after I was already at the salon for a year, the salon suites.
Nice.
So as far as like a point of sale system, right? So what point of sale system do you use? Is it like great, or are you looking to upgrade, or what's that look like?
Well, a lot of people use the checkout system to be the same point of sale system. So like for me, I check out with Zakiyrah, which is really big in the industry that I'm in, but I don't really like the percentage that they take away from businesses. So I use Chase Bank to actually do the transaction. So yeah, Chase Bank has been great. I like all of my money to be in one spot. So my business account, my personal account, my credit cards, all of that is with Chase Bank.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Chase.
Yeah.
Chase Bank calling to be a sponsor for Hair Biz Radio because all the hairstylists need to be with Chase Bank.
They really do. Because when you do your transactions through your scheduling company, those percentages, like the interest is ridiculous. And people don't even look into that because, like I said, our industry is fast money. So we're like, oh, I got it. It doesn't matter if it's 2.3% or 3%, but you got to look into that because you'll be losing a lot of money.
Oh, trust me. We fight. We talk about this actually all the time with Shopify. So Shopify, probably not going to be our sponsor. That's okay. Oh. But their system is amazing. I'm talking top tier for everything but hair because they don't process payments for hair extensions. You have to get a third-party provider like a PayPal and Authorize.net, and they charge an additional 1%. And the people we talk to are like, oh, that's not really a big deal. And I said, if you plan on selling a lot, even a medium amount, trust me, 1% really adds up.
Yeah, especially when they try to do the whole, like it's 1% and then it's plus 10 cents for every transaction. All that the little words that they try to throw into the contract is ridiculous.
Yeah, because Shopify charges you 1%, PayPal charges you 2.9% plus 30 cents.
Yes.
There's a lot of people making money off you.
Right.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
So, we talk about branding in the hair industry a lot. A lot of people struggle with branding themselves when it comes to building hair salons or building hair clientele or whatever the case may be. We see Embrace Me Naturally out here heavy. Tell us a little bit about how you went about branding yourself and your salon.
Unfortunately, I kind of tripped into it. So it's weird because everything I was doing at the beginning is exactly what I needed to do. And I'm just going to say that was God, because I didn't know like the algorithms of Instagram or anything like that. I literally just said, I want my clients to be natural and I want them to embrace it. Embrace Me Naturally. Like that's my name.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I went with someone for a logo. I didn't like it. Then the second person that I had, the logo was perfect. And
your
then,
logo is so nice.
Thank you. So things kind of fell in my lap, which that's why I feel like this is what I need to be doing, because when you're kind of fighting with the process, it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be for you, unfortunately. Like when you're fighting against every little step, like the logo, oh, that's not working out, or I'm trying to get a salon studio, then that's not working out. So everything really fell in place. Even starting the product line, it all fell in place for me.
So we have a lot of people interested in starting product lines. Mm-hmm. Talk about the struggle of starting a product line, or if it was easy, talk about how easy it was. But we have a lot of people that ask us about products, like hair products.
The struggle is trust and money. Because the company that I'm with now, I've switched one time, but the company that I'm with now literally tells you what you're going to spend out the gate. Other companies, they'll tell you, like, you can start off with only $500, but there's no way you can make a whole product line with $500. So
no way.
So yeah, I started with one company, and of course I'm not going to say the name, but I started with one company, like a private label, like what you guys do. Some private labels allow you to come in and change their formula, and then others don't. They literally want you to use what they've tested. So the first one I did, and I came and I changed stuff around, and I said, I want this essential oil, this carrier oil. But the customer service, unfortunately, and like the business of that product line, that business, it didn't sit well with me. I like people to like answer my questions and be timely and be right with my money and stuff like that. So I went with another company that was way more professional and that really gave you the whole rundown on how to start a business. So when it comes to products, you can search private labels and do it that way. Just if you do it that way, I wouldn't lie about it, because like a lot of companies that I see on Instagram, I know what private label they went with because they're all actually using the same name. So I know what private label they went with, but then they'll say like, I make these myself and stuff. And you don't have to lie about that, because people are going to figure out that you got that from another business or another company. So the products that we have now, the vegan ones, they are private label products, and we did not mess with or tamper the ingredient list at all. We actually really trust the company, and they allow you to like come in and rebrand it your own way and pick whatever products that you want that would best suit what you do at your salon.
Vegan products. What made you want to go with vegan products?
I just love the whole vegetable protein thing, because you can use man-made ingredients. They're not going to kill you like all the time. They're in everything, honestly.
She said all the time. Does it kill you sometimes? Like, what do we need to know here?
Like the man-made ingredients and like all these other things. I just find it better for what I'm doing, because I'm actually trying to define what's already naturally there. I find it better to use vegan products and to use lighter products, because when you use heavier products or man-made products, it temporarily, which is bad, alters the way that your hair looks and feels and the health of it. And I really want like lasting results. I want like what you see when you leave the salon to be the same when you go wash your hair at home. So
I like it. Are you vegan?
I'm not. I was vegan for like 3 months, and then I was like, I need to eat something. And then I was pescatarian for 4 months. And then I found out that I shouldn't be eating seafood. Like,
oh, wow. So you're like a fraudulent vegan.
Yeah, I dabble. I dabble.
People mess with me all the time because I'll go sometimes without eating meat, and they're like, yeah, you're fraudulent.
Yeah. Your body tells you what you want, though.
Yeah, when I want chicken, I just want chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I try to do a meatless Monday. You ever heard of that, meatless Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my friends have I was in the food industry, so I have a lot of friends that still have food products, and they always promoted a Meatless Monday. They had this peel-off product called Garlic Clove Foods. So Meatless Monday was always good. I'd go to Chipotle, get like the beans, the guacamole, which costs extra, plenty of salsa, everything. And I was like, and then, that's pretty much it. And it was pretty good.
Yeah. I used to get full off of sides only, and I loved it. I don't always want meat.
So you talked about being in and moving a couple spaces. What made you have to move into such a large space or breaking down walls and all this other stuff in the salon suite? What was it, just your business just blew up and you thought bringing someone else in was a good idea? At what point did you know that you needed to do this?
When I wasn't taking new clients anymore. And it's interesting because I was watching someone's interview and she was saying to never say you don't take new clients, which I started saying. I started telling people like, oh, I don't take new clients. So I used to refer them to the salon that I used to work at. And after I saw that interview and she was like, if you close off your business, then people will always think that you're not touchable. And then they never will want to book with you. They'll just look at you as motivation. So after that, I was like, I need bigger space for a better experience for one, because right now it's only the shampoo chair and then my chair. So I want, people to come in and be able to sit down and get whatever they want. So I needed a bigger space for that. And then I also needed a bigger space to bring somebody in because that was when I was traveling and speaking a lot. And I was doing, other stuff with my education because I was teaching stylist too. So I kind of wanted to step away a little bit, still be a full-time stylist, but step away a little bit. And the only way I can do that is bringing someone else in and trusting them.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about, the experience, and we're all about the experience. And when we first got started and like last year in 2016, you'd come into our showroom. It's so pretty. It's such a good experience. And now it's literally a madhouse. We took over the space next to us, the space across from us. Obviously, we're in the studio down the hall. Mm-hmm. We had to take over these spaces. And it's still, because we've grown so much, still a madhouse. So I apologize if the experience is not like so amazing when you come in there and you're just like, oh my God, there's so many people here. So that's part of what we're looking at with our new space, our colors, are we going to have places to sit? We're actually building out a nice little conference room. So if it's someone that wants to start a hair business and it's something, a little bit more private environment, they'll be able to go into the conference room. And then we'll obviously have offices and other stuff upstairs. So it's not so much like customer service and everything in the office. I mean, you saw it when you first walked up, you're like, oh my God, this is, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we initially started that. We packed all the orders out of there. We did everything out of that showroom. And then earlier this year, we got a warehouse. So most of our packing and shipping goes out of the warehouse. But now our order volume picked up so much, we have to still pack and ship so much here. And it's just been crazy. But yeah, the experience, I think a lot of people forget about it when you walk into a place, how important it is. So if you're like a stylist, think about your colors, the matching stuff. It's all really, really important. And it might not be something someone notices right away, but it kind of all will start to tie together after they go to your website and such.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, do you take bookings? How do people book you for their hair appointments?
All my booking is done online. So I get some flack about that because some people are like, why can't I just book over the phone? But the reason why I don't do that is because a lot gets lost through talking and even texting, unfortunately, because I love texting, but a lot can get lost through that too. I need everyone to like read my policies so that they don't come with like 5 kids or, and just take up all my seating or anything like that. So I book online. I actually prefer most professionals to book online because that way they do see the policies, they do see how much something is, they do see how long the duration of the service is. So yeah, automated is definitely the way to go.
So you think it's real important for everybody to see this upfront before coming to see not only you, but other stylists. You do have policies. You can't just show up all willy-nilly.
Absolutely. And I believe in referrals too. It may be like at a certain time in your career that matters to you, but it matters to me because I don't just want anybody as my client. And it sounds crazy, but like my boyfriend or my daughter would want to pass out my card. And I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. Like they'll want to go to Kroger and just like do this. And I'm like, no, I like to know who my clients are. And it does make a difference because if someone just walks in and says, like how much is a blowout or whatever, dang, it's that much. But if someone comes in knowing who you are and they've heard of you, it's like a totally different respect in what they expect when they walk into the salon.
Gotcha. So what's the actual program you use for booking? Did you go through a couple different booking programs or?
No, I've been using Vagaro for a few years now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's like salon and spa booking. So
how much does that cost per month for that software?
It costs $25 and every other employee that you add is $10. So right now I'm at $35 because I have the other stylist.
Right. Very reasonable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very reasonable. I know a lot of people we talk to because I've been working on an app situation. I don't know what to call it. An app business for makeup artists and hairstylists where they would have their own app and you can actually do all the booking and everything on the app, and it would integrate with different platforms. And this is the first time I've heard of this one.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not really big into the booking business, but that's why I like asking for feedback and talking to people about what systems they use. What's the one that everyone uses?
StyleSeat or Acuity.
Acuity. Yeah, Acuity. So something like StyleSeat is cool, but you're on this platform that's not yours. It's kind of like all these people. And that's why my theory is, and they have some other things, kind of marketplaces for stylists and other stuff. But really, I think if a stylist had their own mobile app that you could use for booking.
Yeah.
Baller.
Yeah.
Baller.
Yeah. I mean, they are going to be so hype about this.
Yeah.
And it's something I just know how to do it. I have all the stuff ready to do this. I just don't have the time at this point. So maybe like beginning of next year, after we hire more employees, get more systems in place and everything else, so it's just.
I would definitely test that. That seems pretty cool.
We got a tester, Zakiyrah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one thing about stylists and makeup artists especially, they like to have their own stuff.
Yeah.
For their branding and everything else. They want to be the boss. I understand whether they're making 7 figures a year, 6 figures, 5 figures, whatever it is. They just like to have their own stuff, but it hasn't really been done that much that makes it easy for them to do so. So, that's kind of our whole concept with private label extensions, and then our sister site, Dropship Bundles, where we do kind of one-stop shop. We do your website, your branding, your packaging, everything, because it's not really that much out there that can do that and do it well.
Right.
Speaking of Dropship Bundles, there is somebody that literally copied my whole website. And it's like, cool. I don't mind if you copy I'm sorry, I just have to go off on a little tangent because I looked at this lady's site last night. So I don't care if you copy the concept of Dropship Bundles and what we do, because I think we're going to do it better than anyone else.
Right.
Because we are, especially me, I am literally psycho about this stuff. Psycho. I want to be the Amazon of hair. I want to make sure that all the clients are happy. We're getting the package down, everything. So if you want to create your own drop shipping system and sell websites and all this stuff, kind of how we do it, we use the best top tier hosting. You're not going to do better than us on all this stuff. I already know. But don't go to my website and copy all my text. Like literally, that is so frustrating. I can't even tell you. I need to just send them a legal letter or something.
Yeah.
If you're young, getting into a business, don't go to a hairstylist page or this, that, the other, and just copy and paste all the text. It is just such bad business. And I sent her an email. Of course, she didn't reply. I was trying to be nice. Like, hey, you might have did this by accident. Wink, wink. I know it wasn't a damn accident.
Right.
Copy, paste, cut, paste, whatever. Okay. But just that's like, we're talking about the hair business or any business. Like, that's honestly not cool.
Yeah, I actually go through that a lot because it's funny because I only have like 3,000 followers, but I always end up finding someone saying something that I have literally originally said. So like with the whole curl training process, I made up that definition like just one day. Someone kept asking me and I'm like, let me just actually sit down and make a definition for what curl training is. And now I actually see people use that in their bios. Like, we curl train over here. And that's exactly what's on my Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but when people do that though, one, they have to be, since they're behind you, they have to wait for you to make a move. So you're always going to be ahead. And for two, they never know your reasoning for doing it. So you may have a certain reason for making this something specific, but if they don't have the reasoning to do it, then they don't have the same intentions and it just never will work.
From a really techie geek standpoint, which I can be sometimes, despite my
most of the time
beautiful looks. The problem is when you copy that with Google, and I'm like a search engine optimization Nazi, it just really messes up the SEO because you have duplicate content and Google doesn't like duplicate content. So it's just like, really, like, this is not going to be good for you. Google knows mine was there, but then now they're going to be questioning my site.
Oh, wow.
And I don't need people questioning my sites.
That's a
No,
lot.
because our sites are legit.
legit.
Did you build the site yourself, your website?
I didn't know.
Okay. What kind of platform do you have your website on?
It's with Wix.
With
Oh gosh! Why did you tell him that?
Jesus.
Why did you tell him
my
that?
gosh.
Anybody that knows how to build a website is going to like be like, why are you using Wix? I know. It's easy for me to maintain. Like, it's easy.
Do you sell your products on there, on that website?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
You got to teach me. Whatever, just tell
I
me.
actually have the classes. I've been working. Zakiyrah knows because I'm like sending her these videos like, look at my new training video.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have I know we keep talking about it, but really we're creating the training platform for WordPress. And it's funny because normally what we've been doing is sending a link to, say, WooCommerce, and it says, hey, this is how you change product variations. But WooCommerce will be like, hey, this is t-shirt size, small, medium, large, extra large. And it's sometimes people just don't relate, what this is, meaning t-shirts, with hair. So there's not like that direct correlation. So that's why I'm doing it all. We're doing everything hair-based. Hair, it'll work for mink lashes, whatever your products are. And I think it will be able to kind of connect with people a little bit better.
But you're saying I should use WordPress.
Definitely should be The problem is with Wix, it's not bad for basic sites, but especially if you're doing e-commerce, the stuff that I can do with WooCommerce and WordPress that you can't do with Wix, it would blow your mind.
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
so I already know I'm missing out on a lot because people are like, the second you have a store on Wix, you're losing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's the stuff you can do on WordPress nowadays, especially when you get into like the really cool stuff. Yeah, it's just, I can't even explain. I mean, I don't have much time. I try to teach as much as I can. And, I'll sat down with a meeting with someone and she's on WordPress, thankfully. And we're kind of going through some of the stuff, set up the MailChimp for her, which we'll have a class on that. And I said, look at our numbers. I'll log into my system and say, this is specifically what it does. It works. And usually people's eyes light up like, oh my God.
So where is this training? Because I need that.
It's coming.
Oh, it's not here yet.
Okay. Not here yet.
Saying it's coming. Maybe if everybody just keeps asking them like every day.
First of all, I don't think you're a member of the Start a Hair Business Facebook group. So if you were in that group, you would see I put a little sample. I put a little sprinkle in there, a little sprinkle video to get people a little excited.
Okay.
So just talk about, Zakiyrah is working on one for Canva. Do you use, what programs you use for graphics? You use Canva?
I definitely use Canva. And I use MailChimp for my emails.
Okay. Do you ever use PicMonkey?
I use PicMonkey to make my YouTube banner.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah, that took me 5 hours because I'm just, that's not my thing.
Okay.
Sometimes it's better just to hire some people.
Yeah.
Outsource. I learned how to delegate.
Yeah,
for real.
What other type of marketing are you doing? I mean, I know you're busy and stuff, so you're probably it's not some top priority right now if you're pretty much always booked, but what are some of the marketing things that you've done to kind of get you where you are today?
I'm really trying to be more serious about my email marketing because I did not know it was such a big thing until this year. So I do have someone that does my email marketing, and she also does all of my flat lays with my products, and she does my graphics. But another thing is YouTube. I never wanted to be the face of my brand, which doesn't make sense because people directly relate to the person, like the face of the brand.
I feel you on that one.
But everyone asks me what my YouTube channel is. And I have mad old videos on there that I don't want people to see. So I'm just I really need to start doing these videos. We need to start doing these videos. Yes. It has to be a priority because people are nosy. They want to see you vlog. They want to see your face and expressions and stuff. And I just never find time to do that, but I need to.
Yeah, video is so important. I mean, we don't shoot enough videos. The only reason why is it's so funny. It's the growth thing, right? When your business grows so fast and continues to grow, finding good people and hiring good people, it's such a challenge. You're going to go through different people. When we interview sometimes 20 people to find one good person that we're like, are you sure you're going to be here every day on time? Not all these excuses. And we try to, the work environment's pretty sweet, right? Especially if you love hair. I mean, oh my God, it's like a dream job in here, right? So it's just that growth part that makes it hard because you get so busy. You're probably so busy all the time. Yeah. And it's hard to prioritize that time.
That's what I was about to say. I have learned that we were just talking about what will be different next year when you were out of the room. And I've learned this year that I prioritized on certain business aspects that didn't make a difference with sales. So next year, I just need to be better with. So as you're saying, you guys are growing so fast. So you're probably prioritizing certain things that never really was a thing to prioritize in the beginning when it was working. That's what's happening with me. I was on Instagram every single day and I was trying to do YouTube videos. That stuff worked and got me here. And then I just stopped doing it because then I started getting busy doing products and stuff like that. I have to go back to doing that and being the face of my brand.
Yeah, it's just same thing. We talked about in the beginning of the episode with Weave Dealer. I love the idea. And people see the episodes and they're like, oh my God, that's really pretty good. And it was fun shooting and everything else. But it's when you get real busy, what's our priority right now? It's customer support, making sure these orders are out on time. Because if an order ships late, people literally are freaking out because they booked their appointment a little too early. If you get to hear that, make sure you book your appointment a day or two later, please. Stop harassing me.
You confused me.
You know how people they literally will be like, okay, what day will, if I order, today's Monday and I live in New York, what day will it arrive? Oh, okay, yes, ma'am, it will arrive on Wednesday. Okay, so I probably should book my appointment. The post office guy is going to deliver it around 3. Probably just book my appointment for 4. I should be able to make it there in time.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's how they
and
are.
And you put a deposit down and you're yelling at me that the knuckleheads at the United States Postal Service misdelivered your package or there was a holdup or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you got to think, at least give me an extra 24 hours, please.
Yeah, I was watching this lady and she was saying that, it's not directly to what you were saying, but she was saying that you have 48 hours to respond in like the legal world or like the business world. But she said that ever since you could like contact a business on Instagram or Facebook or just easily email them, people think that they need a response or they are deserved a response like then and there.
Oh,
and they're deserved for things to be like exactly on time. But she was saying that actually like it never was that way.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you have like 48 hours to respond to this email. Don't email me back after you just emailed me the first hour and thinking that I was supposed to respond like a text message. It doesn't work that way.
Do that all the time.
Yeah, when I started my first business in 2006, it was just all email based. There wasn't Facebook and all this ways to message you. But really, it's tough as a business owner because we do have a bunch of platforms and people are trying to find out, hey, I couldn't find my tracking for my package. They're sending me like a DM on Instagram or through Twitter or other stuff.
Or
like
under a picture.
Yeah, if you have, under a picture. Oh my God. It's making it difficult. Like we don't have your order number. We don't really like your name, Super Booty 22. Like I don't know how to look up your order with that. Right. Okay, Super Booty.
Super Booty 22. Have you seen that before?
Huh?
Or did you just make that up?
No, I just made it up. I was just thinking about some booty and how super it would be.
You were thinking about booty and how super it would be. All right.
But whatever, but I'm just saying, like, there's so many ways to contact. But I can tell you one thing that we did put in place with our business was we used a customer relationship management system called Groove. It's groovehq.com. What I love about that is on the corner of all our websites, it's a little question mark. You click that and you can send us a message and it creates an actual service ticket. So it's sending us technically an email and it's done by email, but email is not really efficient if you are a busy business just logging into like a Gmail account or something crazy like that. So this creates an actual support ticket. So we try to get people to contact us through our support ticket system because everybody knows nobody's going home until all the support tickets are answered for the day. Like if you go home and it's after 5 o'clock, okay, cool. So coming up with a system like that. So if you do have a business and you're listening to this and you're just running it off email, I highly do not recommend it. Email's fantastic, but look at a low cost, if not Groove, there's a couple other ones, but Groove is very affordable, a low cost CRM system because it will save you. Sometimes email go to spam. You were looking at your phone and you archived it by accident. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, it's happened to everybody, right? But with this kind of support ticket system, it will really take your business and your support to the next level. Those are the kind of things we'd like to make sure our listeners understand is if you're Super Booty, don't comment, where's your, they just love that name. I'm going to go register and put my face there. And I'm going to be like, hey, I'll have a video and be like, Yeah, they're really not excited about that if you could see them. Anyway, so those are kind of some ideas. But I guess following up with everything you have going on, what are some tips that you can give our listeners as a stylist now for 7 years?
Going on 8, yes.
Going on 8 years. What are some tips that new stylists they might be in school listening to this, they're going to get their first either job or maybe try to get a salon suite, which you say is probably not a good idea because there's more costs involved. What are some tips, maybe like 3 good tips for people to know that they're just getting out of school to kind of elevate their hair business?
The number one, and probably be 1 through 3, is education. Because in this industry, you kind of learn everything that you can at the beginning. And then after that, you just feel like you're the ish and you just know everything. So our industry is evolving every single day. So education is number one. I even still take classes. I usually I have an ulterior motive. I go to see how they're teaching, but
as you should research.
Yeah, but I also do learn stuff. So definitely keep on taking classes. Ongoing education is important. The other thing I would say is to be intentional, because I'm telling you, you will not keep clients if your intentions are not literally to care for your clients. They kind of pick up on that. And the second they're in somebody else's chair and they treat them better, they will be out the door. And then the third thing would be to brand your business. It doesn't even matter if you're in a salon, your chair is your business and it's your brand, and you can definitely brand it the way that you want to so that there's some future to it and it's not just the chair. Like, you know, you don't have to stay behind a chair forever in this industry anymore. People are really making it a business and starting different careers around it.
I agree 1,000%, especially on the third one, because I like to tell employees or just people that come up to me and say, oh my God, I want to be an entrepreneur. I see what you're doing and all this stuff. It's so exciting. And I say, you know what? It's always not that exciting. There's like, everyone always sees the good part about being an entrepreneur. They don't understand the struggles. You know, it's late at night and I can't turn my mind off, where it's like a job. You left the job and you left the job. You're like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about it till 9 a.m. But the one thing I can say is if you're an employee for a business, it's okay. Not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur. Okay. When you're an employee for a business, though, treat your job or what you do at the company like you are the owner.
Yep.
When you have that mindset that you're the owner, that, hey, you know, question things. Is this really right? Like, is this real? Can't we do this better? When you start doing that and bringing value to the business, it opens up a lot of doors, because a lot of employees will go and be like, I'm just an employee. It doesn't matter what I do every day, this, that, the other. They're not really making headway in the company. A lot of it's because your mindset and your attitude is not right. You know, so even if you are a stylist and you really want to go for that salon suite, you have to kind of pay your dues initially to learn, see how the business is run. Because a lot of people think just because I'm good at hair, you're going to be good at having your own business. There's probably a lot of things you go through with your business that's more than just making sure someone's curls look good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right? There's licenses, there's business licenses.
Now I have payroll.
Yeah.
Then I'm learning. Yeah. I definitely agree with you though.
So I think those are kind of the first steps.
Yeah. So education, being intentional, and making sure you brand yourself in your business.
Right.
Great one.
Okay, great. Well, I think we definitely going to have you back.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to have you some videos as soon as we get our new studio set up.
Cool.
Because we're getting into the natural hair extensions a little bit more, like the 4C, and our 4C is so good. And when you ask the difference, a 4C generally has a curl of about the space in between the curls, 12 to 13 millimeters.
Ooh. My eyebrows are raised, by the way.
Yeah. Trust. See, it's funny because I don't know how to do hair, but when it comes down to the product, I am so crazy and scientific, and I'm like, nope, this is not. Don't send me 15 millimeters. I'm telling you, I need that 12 to 13. It's got to be super tight coil, you know? So yeah, I'm just kind of crazy about that. But we're getting to natural hair, and even me, I love learning about this stuff because I like to get on, you know, the podcast, or when I talk to other clients. I've learned all the stuff I know from stylists like yourself. We had our first guest was Dallas. You know, and it's just, I'm so thankful that I can sit down with you here today and get information and learn more about natural hair, because I think, you know, not everyone's obviously going to wear a weave or buy weave from us or one of our beautiful new thick wigs. Zakiyrah just can't, she can't even with it. You know about the new wig line is amazing though.
Yeah, what is it?
Thick.
Gosh, oh gosh.
I just can't stop doing that.
He cannot. We're so grateful for you joining us today, Jules.
Where can everyone find you?
What's much information.
Yeah, what's your Instagram? What's your website? Where can people follow you?
It's Embrace Me Naturally everything. At Embrace Me Naturally on Instagram. My website is embracemeenaturallysalon.com.
Okay, I'm going to put that information in the show notes at hairbizradio.com. So if you would like to find Jules online, you know, give her a nice little follow, get into see what she does with natural hair, just go to Hair Biz Radio, episode 6, and you'll see in the show notes, we'll have some nice links over. And that's about it. Anything else, Zakiyrah?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, make sure you subscribe and download all our podcasts and visit privatelabelextensions.com. That's our official sponsor because we don't have a sponsor. We might as well just be our own sponsor.
Thank you guys for tuning into Hair Biz Radio. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review or a comment if you guys got some valuable information from our guests that we have on here and from Mikey and myself.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.